never remember to do that. So, okay, so tonight I'm assuming it might just be the two of you that are going to jump on, but maybe some more will join us. I just wanted to, actually, I wanted to show you guys something because it's something that I discovered on the Beachbody website, and I thought it would be really helpful. So I'm just going to share my screen, and I hope this works.
There, it's cut. Yep, we see it.
You can see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so your Beachbody website, so everybody has access to this. You guys are, Tevye, you're a club member, right? Like you did the All Access Beachbody On Demand?
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys, as long as you have access to the Beachbody On Demand, either with your free trial or with the all access that you upgraded to, everyone has access to this website. So it's your Team Beachbody website. And to sign in, you just use, which it keeps making me re-sign in, you just use your email and your password that you use to sign up, and you will be able to log in. So one of the really cool things on here, there's lots of information that you guys have access to on here. But if you go to Eat Smart, and I didn't mean to hit that. So Eat Smart and My Meal Planner, you can actually get a meal plan made for you.
Oh.
So it's really quite cool. And I just was playing around on this a little bit before I jumped on the call. So if you go to this, use the meal plan wizard. I think this is what I went to. Oh no, not that one. What did I go to? Oh, select your meal plan. So I just was looking at the balanced slim down plan. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. Balanced slim down plan. And then select and customize this plan.
Oh.
And then you need to pick your calorie level. So let's say we'll do 1,700. So it's going to be a little bit different than the 21-day fix, but you know what calorie range you're in. So just kind of pick the closest to where you fall.
Mm-hmm.
I accept. So it will come up with a whole meal plan for, I guess, a full week. And it has...
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I had no idea. And let's say I look at this and I'm like, well, an asparagus leek frittata, I have no interest in making that. You can swap it out. I think you can somehow swap it out or pick a different, you can somehow pick a different item. Oh yeah, so if I want to delete that maybe, oh gosh, I'm not sure. I didn't play around with this enough. But yeah, just take some time and play around with this. And then the other cool thing is if you go back to wherever I had that meal plan, let's say you think that this recipe that sounds really good. It gives you the recipe.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
So you have access to like tons and tons of new recipes now, and you can print them out, whatever. So you can customize your own little meal plan here. So that's really, really cool.
Uh-huh.
You would have to look at the container breakdown and kind of figure that out on your own. I'm surprised they don't do that actually, because now that most of the programs that they've created all have the container system. So I wouldn't be surprised if they change this in a little while, because they've had this for like a very, very long time. Back before they had the all access and the Beachbody On Demand, like, even a couple years ago before Beachbody On Demand, they actually you could upgrade your membership and have a club membership, and that's what you had access to. So you paid a little bit extra every month to have access to that website. So there's some really awesome information on there, and there's a whole Beachbody blog that has lots of tips and like weight loss tips and recipes and just a lot of awesome stuff. So make sure you guys check it out and utilize that, because I think it's a really great resource.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so I was just going to go over a couple tips of dining out, because, you know, if this is something that we're going to keep up and make a lifestyle change, we're obviously going to have the opportunity to go out for dinner, and, you know, you don't want to have to either sabotage what you've done all week every time you go out for dinner, or you don't want to have to decline all invitations to ever eat outside of your home, right? So we have to somehow find a good balance and make this work. So the first tip is to definitely get online, look up the restaurant, and look up the menu. If you go into that restaurant without doing this, you know, you're probably going to choose something that you shouldn't choose, right? So it's almost like our meal planning and meal prepping. You have to be prepared when you go into this restaurant. So look it up, you know, earlier that day or the day before. And, you know, most places, unless you're going to some fast food type restaurant, they're going to have the menu online, and there's going to be options that you'll be able to choose. You might have to tweak things, but you will be able to, you know, kind of customize something. So as long as you see chicken on the menu and it's not fried and, you know, vegetables of any sort, there's no reason that they can't come up with something for you. So as long as you see those items, or even like a steak or a piece of fish. So you don't need to panic. As long as you see those things on the menu, you know you're good to go. The next tip is don't be embarrassed to ask for something special. So, you know, don't be afraid to be that person that says like, oh gosh, you're gonna hate serving me tonight, but I just have a little bit of a request. Like they're not going to care, right? As long as you are kind about it, you leave a good tip, you're friendly, they're not going to mind. Your requests aren't going to be crazy. It's not like you've got this food allergy and you're going to make them revamp their kitchen. You're simply just asking if you could have, you know, the meat without all the sauces on it, like just the plain meat, and maybe have the side of veggies, and instead of having a potato, could they just throw on an extra side of veggies? So personally for me, I would rather just skip having a potato of some sort. I'm not a potato lover, so I would rather save my yellow container and have like an extra serving of oatmeal that morning to keep me kind of satisfied while I go, you know, throughout the day, or save it for a glass of wine with my dinner or something. So I always kind of, you want to choose wisely what you're going to indulge in. And for me, having, you know, a potato with my meal isn't something that I would want to waste my yellow on, basically. Look for words on the menu, baked or broiled when it comes to your meat. You don't want anything fried. Be very, very cautious of salads. We always think, you know, oh, I'll just get a salad. Salads can be very, very deceiving at restaurants. They can actually add up to be about 700 or 800 calories when it's all said and done. So you might as well have just gone for the burger and fries, really. Like these salads in restaurants, they're loaded with cheese, all different kinds of amazing cheeses and seeds and nuts and dried fruit. And then there's a creamy dressing all over it. So these healthy looking salads actually can be so unhealthy, and it's just not worth it. If you're thinking you're having something very healthy by that type of a salad, you're not really. So you're better to just go for a piece of meat, a steak, chicken, fish with a side of veggies. That's kind of what I would suggest. Feel free to ask them how they're cooking their veggies. You know, are they cooking them in tons of oil? Maybe they could just steam them for you. Never be afraid to ask these questions. Skip the bread basket. That's just kind of a given. Definitely skip the bread basket. Also with appetizers, we always kind of feel like when we go out to eat, we need to have appetizers, we need to have a dinner, but really we don't need that much food. Like we don't need to have an appetizer plus a huge dinner. So if you're going to do an appetizer, maybe make 2 appetizers into a meal. So you could do like a shrimp cocktail usually for the most part, appetizers aren't all that healthy, but if you look and they see, a shrimp cocktail, that would be something that you could choose, because the shrimp is just a red, as long as it's not cooked in butter and all that kind of good stuff. And then maybe a side salad with just plain veggies and balsamic on it. So usually when you order a side salad, they're not all souped up with all the fixings on it. It's just usually pretty basic of greens and some veggies thrown in there. And then always ask for the dressing on the side. Most places always have balsamic, so just ask for balsamic. Someone also gave me this tip, and now I've never done it, but they always keep a little orange container of balsamic with them in their car or wherever. And that way, if they're ever stuck at like a fast food place, they could always just order a salad from, say, McDonald's or something, and then just use the little serving of balsamic. So I thought that was a good little tip. Although those containers leak, the little orange containers. And when you're ordering your dinner, just always ask yourself, like, how bad do you want this? How bad do you want this food? And how bad do you want your results? So you've got to find a good balance, because it would be very easy to go into the dinner and just totally blow it calorie-wise. Is that going to have a huge, it's not going to change your weight necessarily overnight, but what it's going to do is it's going to play around with your mindset, right? If you have been so good all week and then you go into that dinner and you just totally blow it, you're going to be super disappointed in yourself. And you're going to think, oh, I failed. I can't do this. And then you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to, regret that it had happened. And that might just send you into kind of a tailspin of disaster from then on. So just ask yourself, is it really worth it to make those choices? Or could you just go into this dinner and make some healthy choices and walk out of that restaurant and feel really good and confident about the decisions you made? As you get further into this journey, you don't have to be as strict with yourself, but if you're in your first round or your second round and you've really got some goals that you're working towards, I really suggest you try and stick with it as much as you can. Having little slip-ups here and there, that's just part of life. But if you are really wanting to see some results and really do this right, you have to commit to sticking to it, especially for the first 1 or 2 rounds. And then as you get more comfortable, you can start to incorporate these nights out, and your mindset will be a little bit different too, because you can handle that, and it's not going to set you back, and you'll wake up in the morning and you'll start fresh again. But when you are just starting out, it can really kind of set you back big time. And again, you just think to yourself, I don't know if I can do this. It's not worth it. So alcohol, I mean, we all like to have a drink when we go out, right? I suggest keeping it to just 1 drink when you're out. The more drinks you have, the more you throw caution to the wind, right? You have 1, 2, 3 glasses of wine, and then you start to think, oh, who cares what I eat? We'll start again tomorrow. And all the sugar and the alcohol, it's just, you're going to be left feeling kind of crappy the next day. You'll probably lead to poor choices, even if you don't at dinner. Probably when you go home, you might head to the pantry later on in the evening. So just stick to 1 drink. Keep it small. If you're having a mixed drink, avoid any pop, so have it with some sparkling water. And if you're going to just have 1 drink, have your drink and then switch to water or sparkling water so you feel like you are still having a cocktail. If everyone else is, ordering appetizers and desserts, you have to really feel okay about your decision, because it's very easy to get kind of sucked into it, right? If everyone's like, oh, come on, order. Just, you have to be really strong, and you have to have a good why. Like, why are you doing this? Why do you want this? And that's going to help you to stay strong in these situations. If everyone's ordering dessert, have a bite of your husband's dessert or your friend's dessert, and then order a coffee and just feel satisfied with the coffee that you have, and just move on. Sweets are my weakness, so that's hard for me, but some people might easily be able to avoid the dessert temptation. But if you can avoid it, awesome. If not, just have a bite or two or share it with somebody. And a cup of coffee, I always find that kind of curbs my cravings. So drink your Shakeology right before you head out to wherever it is you're going. That is my first line of defense always. It has something in it that just kind of keeps you from wanting those cravings and from making poor choices. So if you can always, even if it means having an extra shake that day, I think it's more than worth it. So have it before you go out or on your way to where you're going, and it will definitely help you. And it can even be a little bit of a mindset thing too, knowing that you've already had something. You don't feel like you need to order all this food because you've already had your shake, so you're good. So you can just kind of enjoy your meal that you have and not feel like you need to be ordering a ton of stuff. You don't need to take your containers with you. Some people have actually, I have a few challengers that did say like, oh, and I took my containers with me, and I mean, all the power to them, but that isn't what this is about. You are not like, this isn't jail. You are not locked into your containers for the rest of your life. You need to somehow, start to be able to not depend on your containers. I mean, I still use them every single day for certain things. Like when I'm measuring out my oatmeal, I would never eyeball it because I would like double my portion for sure. Basically any of my carbs, I always measure. My sweet potatoes, even my fruit. If I'm going to have some berries, I tend to just put it in my purple container because I will go over on those things. But I'm a little bit more lenient on my vegetables. And you know what? My protein, I usually do measure too, because I probably wouldn't eat as much as what the protein serving is. So if you are going out, let's say you're going out this weekend for dinner, pay attention for the next few days what a serving looks like. When you're dumping out your chicken into your salad, take a look at what that chicken looks like, how much, the amount that chicken looks like, so that when you're at the restaurant and you're served a piece of chicken, you can kind of eyeball it and think to yourself, that's probably like 2 reds or 1.5 reds, and just only eat what you think you should be having. And same with your carbs. If you get some rice as a side, or sweet potatoes or quinoa, their servings are always so huge. So if you can kind of eyeball what one serving of rice would be like, you can kind of push the rest to the side of your plate and just eat that little serving and take the rest home or whatever. But just start to really get good at eyeballing those things. If you are going to go out, I suggest kind of holding on to your yellows and maybe even your blue and your teaspoons, because odds are those are kind of the things that you will want to have when you're going out and splurging. You never really know exactly what the foods are cooked in. They're probably cooked in a lot of oil, even the vegetables. That's just what the restaurant does, right? So hold on to those containers and kind of save them, and that way you won't feel as guilty if you do indulge in a glass of wine, or you have a bite of dessert, or that kind of thing. So I always kind of save those, and maybe I'll have 2 shakes that day to kind of counteract saving a lot of my containers for the end of the day. I think that might be kind of all my tips I had jotted down. So at the end of the day, it's totally up to you what you do on these when you go out on the weekends or out for dinner. You have to decide if it's worth it. No one else can decide that for you. Sometimes when I go out with the full intentions of having a drink and having a really yummy meal and dessert. I will plan for that, and I know in my head that that's what I'm going to order. And other times I go out and I'm very cautious about what I order, and I want to stick to it. So it all depends on where you're at in your journey and just what you think that you can handle and what it's worth to you. So there is no right or wrong reason. If you want to go out and indulge, that's okay. Just you need to be okay with that decision as well. So I hope those tips kind of help.
They did. Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions or comments about that kind of stuff?
I can't think of any questions, Megan. That was good, though.
Yeah, it was helpful.
Yes, very.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tevye,
I'm wondering about pasta because I've kind of lately been avoiding pasta
yeah.
because I figured it's probably too much of carbs or whatever, but I know that I've been changing a lot to whole wheat. So I did get some whole wheat pasta, and I tried to just kind of have just a more of a smaller serving of it. But is it a yellow? Is that what it would be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay.
So a yellow of cooked pasta
Okay.
isn't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably why I used to love pasta. Like
Yeah.
3 nights a week we would have it, but
Yeah.
I've really cut back on it because I know I was eating probably like 5 yellows of it, like
Mm-hmm.
at least. Because 1 yellow of noodles doesn't go very far.
Yeah.
But what I do a lot is I will make up a spaghetti squash, or I will spiralize zucchini.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of takes the place of noodles. So we still have spaghetti probably once a week because the kids love it and it's just an easy thing to do. So I will either do spaghetti squash or the spiralized zucchini.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have that kind of in a separate pot with sauce. And then I'll have the kids' noodles. And I will use 1 yellow container of noodles. And then I'll use the rest, I'll use a green of either spaghetti squash or the zucchini, and then put sauce on that.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm having this huge dish of pasta, but it's not. Because if you put a yellow of pasta in a bowl, like it's not much.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did, like I said, I did get, I just had some tonight actually, because like I said, we haven't had it for a while, and I hadn't bought it for a while anyways, because whenever I do a cleanse, I usually go with gluten-free stuff too. So, and there's lots of really good gluten-free options now. Gluten-free's come miles from where it was before. So there's some lentil noodles and stuff that they've made now. So, I mean, I'd have to I don't know how you figure it out, how it would be, like what container it would be, but because Costco carries this wonderful brand of lentil noodles and they're so delicious.
Oh, I haven't seen them.
They're red and they're just so delicious. But
so they're would they be, well, a lentil's a yellow still.
Okay. So it would still be a yellow.
It would still be a yellow, yeah.
Okay, so I just have to make sure I have lots of veggies.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, because I mean, like I said, I haven't, but every once in a while I crave some pasta because I do like it. So, like I said, I got some whole wheat stuff, and I like the lentil ones too. So I know they're a lot healthier than just the regular white noodles.
Yeah, well, there's just no nutrition.
Yeah.
At all to them. So I'm gonna look for those when I'm there next.
Yeah, they're really good. Hopefully it's one of these things that are still, because, well, you know what Costco's like, right? Yes. You find something you really like and then it's gone.
It's gone for like 6 months and then it'll be back.
Yeah.
My rice and quinoa blend.
Yeah.
That I love from there. It was gone for probably 6 months, and then just this last week they had it again.
Oh, okay, because I do like the quinoa blend from Costco as well.
Yeah, it's like there's wild rice and quinoa in it.
Oh, okay, because I just, well, there was a wild rice blend that I liked there too, and it was gone, and so maybe it's back now. I don't know.
I know.
So it's hard to depend on stuff from there sometimes, but sometimes they carry it all the time, so I don't know.
Yeah, you just never know. No, I think you're frozen there.
Yeah.
So anything else you guys want to chat about?
I think I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. You're good, Tevye?
Yes. Yeah, and I think I was listening to, or I saw the post about the coach coaches thing, so I might listen in on that.
Oh, okay.
And when were you going to do it tomorrow?
I was getting people added in tonight, so I can add you in tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Well, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. All right. Well, have a good night, guys.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.